It's about to be New Year's Eve. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. The time has flew by so quickly, but guess what? It's about that time, my loves. Black eyed peas. Yes, we want to bring in the new year, of course, with nothing but good luck and charm. So tonight I'm going to show you how to make a traditional black eyed peas recipe. If you want to reach for the andouille sausage or even the bacon, you definitely can. But tonight is all about tradition, and we're going to keep it that way because I know there's a lot of people out there that just want to make the traditional version of the Southern black eyed pea recipe, you know what I mean? And it's only right. Maybe tomorrow we'll incorporate the sausage and the bacon, but for tonight, all about tradition. Let's get to cooking. Here's the star of the show, the black eyed peas. They've been soaking for literally about 24 hours, overnight if you will. Now here's the thing. When I initially added the beans to the water, right? They were like somewhere around here. Because they became hydrated with the water, they plumped up. So now it's half the amount that was initially added. We're gonna go ahead and we want to drain off all of that water. Gonna rinse it with some clean water. Get all of that scum and everything off of the beans. Also, as you're sorting through the beans, if you see anything that doesn't look good, be sure to discard of it. Just take it and toss it in the trash. So far, everything looks good. Beans are nice and plump. So the cooking time is going to be less, simply because we soaked the beans overnight. To our large size Dutch oven pot, we're gonna add some broth. Now here's the thing, if you don't have chicken broth in hand, just in case you're new and you're tuning in, let me tell you, you're gonna get yourself some water, and if you have chicken bouillon, you're gonna dissolve some chicken bouillon into the water. Not only is that gonna give it flavor, but it's gonna work out perfectly just as if you were using chicken broth. The reason why I decided to come up with this way of doing it is because every time I would buy chicken broth, I wouldn't use it in a timely fashion, and then when I checked the carton, it would either be expired or the taste is off. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for that no more. Make sure when you add the bouillon to the water, you want to make sure you dissolve it really well. Now, here's the thing. I see a couple people doing the bouillon and the water thing, right? I just want to put out there, bouillon is very high in sodium, so you don't want to add too much bouillon to the water. You want to add just enough to give it a hint of flavor, but you don't want to overdo it, because if that's the case, then you're not going to need to add any salt, to be honest. All right, in goes the broth. If you want to add just plain water, you can as well. We're going to be using a smoked turkey leg. If you want to use, let's say, maybe pork, ham hocks, turkey neck, doesn't matter. Anything that's smoked, any type of meat that's smoked is going to contribute to the flavors. We're going to cover it on down, cooking on a high heat, or if you want to do medium high, that's fine. After about an hour, a turkey leg is so moist to the point where you could break it apart with your hands. But I'm not going to continue breaking it apart with my hands simply because it is absolutely hot. So I'm going to use my fork to shred the turkey. This is beautiful. It smells amazing. All right, we're just going to go ahead and keep shredding the turkey. At this point in time, if you come across any bones, if you don't want to add it back to the pot, you can definitely toss it in the garbage. Me, I'm going to separate all of the meat off of the bone. I don't think we're going to need the bone anymore. And I got to be honest, if you're using a turkey leg, which is what I'm using, it would make way more sense to take the meat off the bone rather than cooking the beans with the turkey bone in the pot. Because once the beans start to thicken up and the beans start to, it's just more, to me it's more work. If you get where I'm going with this, it makes better sense to shred the meat rather than cooking it in the same pot as the beans. Now if you're doing, like, let's say turkey necks or maybe ham hocks, that's a little different. But when you have the big old turkey leg, it makes sense to go ahead and remove it from the pot, shred it, and then place only the meat back into the water or back into the pot. All right, as you can see, everything is perfectly cooked. We went ahead and we rinsed our beans off. And the whole purpose of soaking it overnight is basically to hydrate the beans, and it also quickens the cooking process, which is a good thing, okay? We don't want to be cooking beans all day. If you're taking it out, if you take your beans fresh out of the pack and you don't get a chance to soak them, you're gonna have to cook your beans maybe for an extra 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes, depending on the type of beans that you're cooking. Using the same delicious broth that we cooked our turkey in, we're gonna add our black-eyed peas, our onions, bell peppers, both red and green. We're gonna add a pinch of salt and ground black pepper. Don't add too much, you can always go back and add additional. We're gonna add our garlic. This is finely chopped garlic, along with our onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, just regular, not smoked, a hint of heat, so we're gonna add some cayenne pepper, 2 bay leaves, a quick stir, our shredded turkey meat, and this is for me off camera. We're gonna combine all of the ingredients, and we are gonna cover our Dutch oven down. We're gonna bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna reduce the heat and allow it to cook for about an hour to an hour and a half. Now keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, we soaked our beans. So it may only take about 45 minutes to an hour, but the main point is we're gonna keep checking. Check the tenderness of the beans. Now here's the thing, if you need to add more liquid, whether it be water or chicken bouillon and water or broth, definitely do so, because you want the beans or the peas to be the texture that you desire. If you want to make traditional Southern black-eyed peas, you want to leave somewhat of a broth, okay? You don't want it to be too thick. This right here is enough broth, because guess what? I don't know if you know, but usually people would go in and drink what's called a pot liquor when it's nice and brothy, right? Almost as if it's a soup. Whereas if it's thick, what liquid? What pot liquor? Pot liquor is not only limited to collard greens. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this. This is perfect. Can't wait to serve it up because it smells awesome. Everything is still intact. However, if I know there's somebody out there who may want their peas to be a little bit thicker, with that being said, you allow it to boil down a little bit more until the consistency changes. Or you can go in with maybe like a spoon and mash some of the peas up, you get what I'm saying, and keep some of them intact, and that would thicken it up as well. Or if not, just allow the water to evaporate. But for now, let's see what is going on here with this black-eyed peas recipe. Home run. Home run. The beans perfectly cooked, nice and soft. It also has that nice smoky element because we added the smoked turkey. As I said earlier, if you want to add any type of smoked meat, feel free to do so. Like I said, we have the other black-eyed pea recipes where we use different meats, whether it be bacon, sausage, and so on and so forth. I wanted to kind of pay homage to the ancestors and make this traditional. Now here's the thing, I know somebody's going to say this is not traditional, I didn't make it, my grandmother, my great-grandmother didn't make it this way back in the day. Well, guess what? Cooking is not a monolith. Nobody cooks the same. But the main point is, this is as close to traditional as it gets. If your grandmother used something else, then hey, it is what it is. But nevertheless, make sure you hit that like button. I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.